Welcome back to Let's Play Potatoes. This is going to be a game of yours truly, Soul Redemption, in World of Warship playing the Stalingrad. This is a how to play Stalingrad. I am going to do a series of how to play for many ships, and I figured why not give some advices, especially now seeing as Wargaming has decided that this is a good opportunity to give out steel for something else besides competition, which means we're going to see a lot more players that are going to get this ship. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it's coming. Get used to the fact that it's coming. Therefore, now I am the only Stalingrad in the game, which gives me big advantages, and as everybody knows, the Stalingrad is a slightly OP ship, but it really does come down to how good the player is and what you're doing. Now, the fact of the matter is that a Stalingrad is not an invincible ship, and if you use it like an idiot, you're gonna die like an idiot, and you're not gonna do that much in the game. Now, this ship, as you may notice, has a 20.4k range, which gives it a pretty big cover, as well as projectiles that are described to be as laser accurate. You need to know how to use that. The ship has quite a big side. She's a big lady, alright? If you're gonna put that big lady broadside to most ships, you're either gonna get citadeled or you're gonna take a lot of damage, and you want to try and avoid that. Now, the game doesn't have a lot of DDs. DD balance here isn't great, as you may have noticed. There's 2 DDs on our side and 3 destroyers. DDs, by the way, being destroyers, for those of you who don't know. 3 destroyers on their side and 2 destroyers on our side. And overall, it seems like the rest of it is pretty fair, well balanced. They have Kronstadt radar, maybe Amino radar, so one guaranteed, one maybe. We have myself and maybe a Neptune as well as a Cleveland. Now, early on in the game, when you're with a Stalingrad, I would say the first thing you want to do is try and keep it far off. You want to try and stay further out, use your range, use your shells to the best of your advantage. Before you open fire, turn yourself slightly around. At this point I open fire because I'm already detected and may as well get the shells out. I slow down and turn, so the turn will be steeper and I may miss the shells. Something that you'll find out in a lot of the times is just stupid. Now, as you can see, this is the Stalingrad OP going there, even though I was pretty much broadside. The shells came at a very bad angle from the top and completely balanced, doing no damage whatsoever. Another round of shells coming in from a second BB, seems to be the Kurfürst, misses me entirely. At this point I slow down. My armor is facing at such an angle that I should be able to shoot without taking too much damage. If you're shooting at a Stalingrad at this angle, what you should be aiming for is the superstructure. You'll be doing way more damage. Now, the Sasho, as you can see, stopped literally in the middle of nowhere and decided, oh, why not, let's go in reverse. I didn't switch to AP because I don't want to miss this opportunity. I do about 3.5k damage. He takes up a hell of a lot more damage from somebody else in the back, seems to be the Montana. The enemy Montana is sitting in the back, and I do notice that there's one shimmy on the edge. You need to use HE, guys. Don't let go of your HE just because this ship is a beast with AP. Use it. Set fires. Use it to navigate locations that other ships would not be able to shoot through. Use it to fire and make sure you continuously put out damage, because that's your biggest strength. Just continuously put out damage. Montana takes a big risk, running forward, fully aware that the Sasho tore up the area and he should run back. He's the only ship here, him and the North Carolina, that can take damage. I don't know why they would go forward. North Carolina takes a big chunk of damage. They are continuously pushed forward in order to kill the Sasho. Is it worth it though? Is it? Really? That seems to be a slight mistake, miscalculation on their side. Montana ends up taking, if I'm not mistaken, those 2 torps that are coming straight at it. Yes, and he does go down. North Carolina straight behind him, basically facing inwards, dodges the torps. Kurfürst is forward and seems to be, maybe he might take a few torps there. He takes a fire from me. Shimakaze is exposed and is probably going to die. The Shimakaze ends up landing a single torp on the Kurfürst. The other side, even though they are 5 versus 4, do not take the cap with the Kronstadt that's broadside. I'm not exactly sure what was going on over there. Montana on the enemy team pushes in through in order to try and get to North Carolina. Probably a good idea, but he shouldn't have gone that forward. He should have faced backwards to try and get back behind cover once the North Carolina went away. Amagi again sitting broadside because, you know, why not? Friendly Amagi just going on and I can do this, no problem. He is slowly turning away in reverse. So he's basically not getting out of this situation. I am being shot by something. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Probably the Zhao. We end up losing C and we're sitting at a 4 versus 2 loss. Yep, there's the Zhao. Kurfürst is pushing up in the opposite direction, which means that I don't need to be that afraid of him. He's not coming in. I'm not going to be giving him broadside. We are going to lose the A cap. Kronstadt eventually goes down on the in the C cap. The enemy Kronstadt. We are maintaining B. It seems to be like we're pushing on 3 direction into C, and they do spot the shimmy. I am continuously shooting HE at the Montana. Now remember again, what you want to be doing in a situation where you're being pushed is use the armor of the Stalingrad as much as you can to do as much damage. Now the thing is, you don't want to be facing with just one gun in the back, and that puts you at a disadvantage. You're going to be taking some damage, whether to your superstructure or perhaps if too much of a side, you're going to be taking it to your citadel. So you want to continuously speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. It will help you tremendously by avoiding a big chunk of the shells coming in, unless obviously you're very unlucky. Kurfürst comes around the corner. He is showing a chunk of broadside to me, but he is turning, and therefore there's no reason in turning in switching my guns to AP. I stick with HE, set up another fire, and we're calculating going up on damage, already sitting at 66. Amagi is trying to run away. Zhao shows broadside, but I didn't have AP loaded, and therefore HE is going to have to do. And he does take a little bit of damage, but nothing significant. I end up taking damage and a fire. Montana has my broadside. I try and put damage in. I am already start. Seems no. Maybe I didn't see the Montana at this stage, but basically this is a mistake on my account. I should have turned myself slightly further away, but I'm assuming I'm trying to help the Amagi, or rather use the Amagi's HP to do as much damage to the Kurfürst before he starts shooting at me. As you can see, I'm speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. The point is not to run away, but rather if anybody is shooting at you, then make their shells miss. Don't forget, the closer you are, the more damage you'll do, because more of your shells will hit where you want them to hit. Now, as you can see, the Kurfürst is coming at me straight forward. What you want to do is shoot for the superstructure. You don't want to shoot at the guns. You don't want to shoot at the structure at this sort of an angle. You want to try and keep your guns as much as you can. He does show a little bit of broadside here. And if he stayed that way, then it would have been a good opportunity for him to switch to AP. But because I already know that he repaired a fire, I'm looking to set up that second permanent fire, maybe even a third, to make sure he goes down. Montana and Yamato shooting at me, but miss. B is being capped either by the shimmy or by the Zhao. I'm not exactly sure. And again, using the ship's hull to slowly move away while shooting and maintaining all guns. Now, it doesn't matter. If you want to be extra safe, you can turn your ship a little bit in, a little bit out. Have your gun in, have your gun, all your guns in, then one gun out. And as you can see, this was a mistake that I made. I didn't turn outwards after I killed the Kurfürst, and I took a big hit, approximately 20k damage there. You have to keep in mind that while you're shooting at something else, there are things that are going to be trying to shoot at you, especially in the Stalingrad. People see that ship, they understand what's the meaning of that ship, and they try and take it down as fast as they can, if they can. If you give them the opportunity, you will die. I turn my ship back after killing the Kurfürst, fully aware that the only thing on top is a Zhao, and I need to push because we are losing. Not by a lot, but we are losing, and they do have 2 caps. I'm currently sitting at 98k damage. Not bad. 1.3 million damage tanked. Again, nothing bad, but also nothing extraordinary. Yamato decides to push into B through the middle. Probably not the smartest thing to do, but he thinks that at this moment there's nobody that can punish him for it. Friendly Shimakaze goes above the island. There's an enemy Shimakaze sitting inside B. Neptune is going to run forward for some reason. Fully aware that there's Yamato, because if I can see it, he can see it. They have 2 DDs in the cap. Friendly Zhao goes down to the Montana. We have a bigger disadvantage right now. Montana beached over there and is slowly reversing. Neptune obviously goes down because when you push into a Yamato, you're gonna eat the torps from the Minotaur. That's how it is. Yamato, I'm not aware why exactly, is turning away from me and is slowing down, it seems like. Now, he may not see me right now, but he knew where I was earlier on. And as much as that smoke is nice from the Shimakaze, and he is turning his guns towards me. Yes, he is. I'm showing a little bit too much broadside for this shell, but I do end up hitting a 30k hit on the Yamato. He hits me in return, but I have sufficient angle that he doesn't do that much damage. I always try and aim for the frontal turrets of the Yamato. They just give you more space to get those citadels. I eat torps from the Shimakaze and repair the flood immediately. My shells on the Yamato missed by just bouncing off. They didn't do any damage. Yamato might eat some torps, which I need him to. I need the Yamato to go down. Shimakaze is in front of me. He is the prime. There we go. My secondaries do the damage to the Shimakaze, end up killing him because he was so low. If not, I would have shot him with my shells. Yamato running away shows me his butt. It eats a citadel through the back. Not exactly a usual thing to do, but you have to remember that any ship's backside is always more vulnerable and will always give you a better opportunity to do some damage. Minotaur, for some reason, thinks again it's a good idea to go broadside in front of a Stalingrad, maybe thinking that he could use the smoke to torp me, ending up making a big mistake because the smoke doesn't transfer you to another dimension. At this point, we are still losing simply by caps. C's being capped. Shimakaze, I need to go into the cap. I need to get this stopping. I need the clock to stop. I'm sitting at 168,000 damage with a Mogami in front of me that doesn't pose too much of a threat, but the Shimakaze may have launched torps and I don't know exactly what's going on. So I slow down at the edge, waiting for the Montana to push forward, as well as the Zhao to do as much damage as I can on them. Montana does coming in full broadside. I failed to do citadels, but I do end up giving him a 15k damage. He shoots me. He shoots me really well. Seems to have aimed more or less for the superstructure, hitting me for about 20k damage. I cannot afford another hit, so I try and give him the front. He takes massive amounts of damage, as well as those torps should be ending him and allowing me to go back into the B cap. Montana dies off, leaving me with a shimmy at my back, but also a friendly shimmy. Full HP shimmy versus a slightly lower HP shimmy. Not exactly sure what's going to happen. C is still owned by us. We still need the cap. We have to stop this cap. We changed the game slightly with a 4-3 advantage for us. My HP doesn't look that great and I have no more repairs. The last thing I need is a Zhao coming at me with torps or anything of that sort. That would be really, really bad. I don't know where the Mogami is. I have no idea what's going on. My next radar is coming up in 15 seconds. Enemy Shimakaze takes down the Kerr first, the friendly Kerr first. torps from the Mogami do end up hitting me. I shouldn't have pushed that much into the cap. Got a little cocky there towards the end. Also, if you ever have some torps and they're coming at you, try and let the torps hit the armor belt where there is torpedo protection. You'll take less damage. Zhao runs towards me. At this point, I gained a Confederate for 200,000 damage. He changes direction, allowing my back turret to shoot as well, and my frontal turrets giving him a nice big hit there. Overall, 10,000 from all three turrets. I also gained a high caliber at this point for 212,000 damage. We are lacking 3 caps. Mogami and Shimakaze are still alive. We need caps and we need kills, or we're gonna lose this game in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I push back into the cap, afraid of the Shimakaze that might be coming to my side. One more torp and I'm basically dead. So either that or Mogami HP could end me. I see that the Shimakaze is nowhere near, and I allow myself to turn the guns back towards the Zhao, waiting for the Zhao to come. I know that if he pushes up, he's going to die to the Yamato. So either he pushes into me, or I'm going to get this cap. I'm still unawares where the Mogami is, and that's why I'm keeping my turrets sort of in the middle, trying to figure out exactly where he is. There's no need to push full front. Zhao does end up making a mistake, trying to reverse into the cap, eats 1 citadel, 2 more citadels. I get the devastating strike achievement as well as the Kraken Unleashed achievement, finishing off the Zhao and getting the cap. Now at this point, we are at a problem. They're going to win simply on points. We need to push. We need the kills. Shimakaze is alone on the opposite side. The enemies killed his friendly that was with him, and he needs to be supported. Seems like the Yamato behind me isn't doing too much. Full HP Yamato at this stage in the game, no kills. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but sometimes you just can't rely on them. You have to do the best that you can. Again, at this stage, I am going down. I maybe shouldn't show broadside, but I think at this point I was trying to think maybe I should go for A, just to stop the cap, anything of that sort. But we are going to lose this if we don't get something, and I do get lucky. I get detected, which means that I know more or less where they are. But we are going to lose this game. We're going to lose it because the Yamato decided to sit back most of the game. Doing the best that I can. I currently sit at 240,000 damage, 9 citadels, 5 kills, high caliber, Confederate, devastating strike, a secondary hit on Shimakaze that ends up killing it, but it's still not enough. If you don't play your ship's strength and weaknesses, you're not going to be able to win. Now, I don't know if I could do any more in the current situation. 240,000 damage is not low. It's definitely not of the highest nature that Stalingrad or any ship has ever achieved, but it's definitely not low. I do believe that I've done more than my fair share to try and carry this game. I currently sit at 635 HP, which means I am borderline dead, just on the edge of it. At this point, there's nothing much I can do. The Yamato was simply too far away. The Shimakaze and the Mogami are doing exactly what they should be doing, which is running away, and they'll win in exactly 1 minute. I try and go into A just to stop the cap, see if it'll make any difference, but the likelihood of that happening is very, very remote. We're simply too far away on the points. A little bit of teasing in chat, and this game is basically over. Again, it seems like in a lot of what happened in this game is either Yamato decided to give up or simply wasn't playing right and ended up losing the game simply because he was sitting back most of the game. He could have done a lot of damage. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have the screen saved for the end result, but if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, he didn't come that far up. And this is how to play a Stalingrad. We may have not won the game, but the gameplay is definitely good. We're going to get to keep our stats fairly high with a 240,000 damage. This wasn't an overall bad game. I wasn't too upset about it. Losing is never fun, but I think we've done the best that we could. If you like this gameplay, please subscribe to me, follow me, like this video if you like it if you don't like it for the effort. And if you want to find me on Twitch, my name is Let's Play Potatoes without the E in potatoes. Have a great day.